So far we have discussed about the introduction of flash photolysis and how it works and when we can use this type of technique to study fast reaction. Now we are going to present a experimental protocol or what are the experimental design need to do a flash photolysis. That is a simplified design for flash photolysis, and how can we monitor the rate of the fast photochemical reaction using this technique. So in a photochemical reaction where M is a reactant which undergoes product transformation by excited state species M star, that is we are giving a photon of energy h nu to the reactant, then this reactant will form a reactive species M star and this M star further are form the product. Now this h nu, basically this h nu is coming from your flash. This flash may be given from a discharge lamp which has a flash time or flash duration of microsecond to millisecond, or you can give a pulse light from your laser source, from a pulse laser source which has very small all pulse time, that is in the order of nanosecond, or even you can go up to femtosecond. So whatever the things with the discharge lamp or the laser source are the difference in the time duration of your flash, that is the time period which shine the h nu on the sample. Okay, now the simple setup, that is my sample. Here is my sample, and this sample is a photochemically active species, so I can give h nu to this sample using flash which are in the above and below, that means in that way, and this sample can generate a reactive species M star. Now this M can absorb at lambda 1 and M star can absorb at lambda 2. So I can probe these two species using specific wavelength lambda 1 and lambda 2. So what I will do, I will use a probe light or probe beam, and I will pass this probe beam in through the sample. Then the M will absorb at lambda 1 and M star will absorb at lambda 2. So what happens, I will put a detector parallel to the in a series type connection. Here I have put a detector, and this detector is connected, electronically connected to the flash lamp or flash source, that may be a discharge tube or a laser source. Now this electrical feedback will sense this detector that now the flash is on. So when the flash is on, then the detector will automatically on, and the flash will transform M to M star, and now I can monitor M and M star using this probe beam and the detector. Now the detector can be a photomultiplier tube or a photodiode to detect the intensity of incidented ray with lambda at lambda 1, lambda 2, whatever the things, it will actually record the absorbance of the sample at lambda 1 and lambda 2. The absorbance of lambda 1 will give me the quantity of M, and lambda 2 will give me the quantity of M star. So further, this detector is connected to an oscilloscope which can record the absorbance in a time scale or with respect to time. And nowadays this oscilloscope are becomes computerized oscilloscope, that is digital oscilloscope or computer programmed. So we can have a plot like this. We can, this absorbance is recorded using the detector, and this detector signal is displayed in the oscilloscope as a function of time. So what we noticed that at lambda 1 the concentration of M is decreasing with time, wherever at lambda 2 the concentration of M star is increasing. Okay, so we can monitor the absorbance of these two species. From this absorbance data we can easily calculate the rate of change of concentration of the reactive species or the reactant. From this data we can easily study the chemical kinetics or the kinetics of the photochemical reaction, which we have already written here. That is the basic principle of your flash photolysis, and the flash light and the probe beam are in perpendicular direction. So depending upon your arrangement, you can change this direction to get more exposed area for the sample. That is different issue, but this is the simplest form of your flash photolysis setup. Now if we take a real example of flash photolysis, then we took a molecule like this, which is known as which is the benzophenone. Now you can solubilize this benzophenone in a micellar media of CTAB or SDS. Then what will form? It will form a micellized benzophenone. Now excite this benzophenone, micellized benzophenone, with a laser light of 355 nanometer. Then it is basically will give you will work like your laser flash photolysis, LFP. So when you excite this micellized benzophenone at using a 355 nanometer laser, it will form a singlet benzophenone. That is, we have already told you that M to M star, here benzophenone to benzophenone star, that is excited benzophenone molecule which have a spin state of 1, that is singlet in singlet state. Spin multiplicity 2s plus 1 equal to 1. That means both the electrons are in opposite spin. Now this singlet benzophenone, excited benzophenone, will convert it to a triplet benzophenone, because we know that singlet state are higher energy state, and always a system try to go to its lower energy state to stabilize to attain a stabilization. So benzophenone, singlet benzophenone will form a triplet benzophenone, and this triplet benzophenone will abstract a hydrogen and form micelle, and it will form a benzophenone ketyl. This is basically a benzophenone ketyl radical, and this benzophenone ketyl radical absorbs at 550 nanometer. So one can monitor this is the benzophenone ketyl radical, and this radical absorbs at 550 nanometer. So we can monitor the absorbance of this ketyl radical at 550 nanometer, which will gives us idea about the decay profile of this benzophenone ketyl radical. From this you can study the flash photolysis of micellized benzophenone radical. Micellized benzophenone on reaction.